We appeal for your help with their investigations as we join Gráinne Seoige and Philip Boucher-Hayes for Crimecall.
Good evening and welcome to Crimecall.
Your information will once again help solve a number of crimes.
Tonight, the investigation into the murder of Paul Kavanagh continues. Gardaí carry out new searches for missing Kilkenny man Dean Roach, and a man in his 80s is attacked in a raid in Shillelagh, County Wicklow.
Money now!
As ever, we're looking for your help to identify suspects caught on CCTV, like these men involved in a violent assault in Bray. And these two women in Galway who attacked two men on Ayr Square last September.
And as Gardaí review the case of Nancy McCarrick, the young American woman who went missing in Ireland in 1993, her mother Nancy has travelled here to talk to Crimecall.
And it's been a long time, such a very long time. We're pretty sure, you know, that we'll never see her again. But I guess my greatest wish would be to be able to take her home.
It really is a terribly moving interview. We'll have more on that later on in the programme tonight.
Thanks for all you got. You know what to do. Philip.
When the Garda Serious Crime Review Team or the Cold Case Unit get involved in a case, their role is to consider every possibility, no matter how unlikely. Now, the circumstances surrounding Nancy McCarrick's disappearance is one of the country's most enduring mysteries. The 26-year-old American woman was living in Dublin in March 1993 when she vanished. Nancy McCarrick, Annie's mother, travelled from her home in New York to talk to Crimecall and the Cold Case team about her daughter's disappearance.
Nancy McCarrick, a young American student from New York City. She was 26 years of age and she is missing for the last 23 years. Investigators investigating her disappearance collected information at the time to say that Annie visited Johnny Fox's pub here in the village of Glencullen, high in the Dublin Mountains. The information suggests that she was sometime here in the pub between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. It was Friday, it was the 26th of March, it was 1993. Annie loved to walk in the village of Enniskerry in County Wicklow. Investigators know that she took the 44 bus from Ranelagh to Enniskerry at approximately 3:40 p.m. We are reasonably satisfied that her journey took her beyond Milltown. But did she reach the village of Enniskerry? Would she have walked from Enniskerry to Johnny Fox's on that cold, wet, miserable evening? Enniskerry is 6 kilometres away. It would have been dark. It would have been possibly between 8 or 9 o'clock when she embarked on her journey. Would Annie have walked this road? You know Annie best. Would that be a journey that you would take late at night in a dark, hilly road?
Doesn't even seem remotely possible, Walter. You know, maybe on a bright sunny day at 9 in the morning, but certainly not the time that you're describing or the weather. I mean, I know you didn't know her, but still, it just wouldn't, I can't imagine it happening.
Annie shared a flat in St. Catherine's Court, Sandymount, with 2 other friends, both of whom were going home for the weekend. When they said goodbye to Annie that Friday, she said she was thinking of going for a walk in the Enniskerry area. Annie went to the AIB bank in Sandymount that Friday morning. She went shopping in Quinsworth, now Tesco's. The time of purchase was recorded on a receipt. It was 11:02.
This is the jacket she would have been wearing and the bag she would have been carrying. She took that everywhere with her.
That's Annie's bedroom, Nancy.
Her favorite clothes, yeah, dresses and jackets, and these were her favorite things that she chose to take over with her.
We know that she came home at some stage and she left her groceries and provisions without being put away.
They were all just left on the counter, and her laundry was down in the machine, in the washing machine in the building, and so she was definitely, planning on doing some chores in the house that day for sure.
Investigators are reasonably satisfied that Annie took the Dunbreen bus from Sandymount to Ranelagh Village, and at 3:40 that she took the 44 bus from Ranelagh Village to Enniskerry. There's a period of time there which is unaccounted for, so we'd be anxious to fill in that time frame.
I would ride my bike and go alongside if she was jogging, and she had gotten a Pavarotti tape that she liked to play in a little CD player as we went along in the evenings. When she found Ireland, her whole life really changed. And one of the priests at Maynooth said she could lift the spirits of the whole class, that she was that happy to be there. It's a terrible loss. And it's been a long time, such a very long time. We're pretty sure, that we'll never see her again. But I guess my greatest wish would be to be able to take her home. And have a grave that I could go to. So to find out, what happened to her really would be a great gift at this point. It really would.
"23 years of that kind of anguish. It really is a torture. You've met her. What do you think she's going through, Walter?
I've met Annie, and it's 23 years ago when I met Nancy, and it's 23 years ago since Annie went missing. And it's been a terrible suffering for her. Not a day goes by that Nancy doesn't think of Annie. Every day she's waiting for a knock to the door or a telephone call with some news that of Annie, and the pain continues. That pain of loss continues for her every day.
Now, one of the things that you do in a cold case review is you start right back from square one. You make absolutely no assumptions other than that Annie McCarrick is missing.
A cornerstone principle of any review or cold case investigation is not to assume that anything is a fact unless, of course, one can prove it to be.
So what facts do you know?
In relation to Annie's case, we know that Annie was in her apartment on the 26th of March. We do so because of the reports from her flatmates. We also know that she went out and did some shopping, and we know that because of the receipt that was in her grocery bag. And we know that she went to the bank as well, the AIB, and there in Sandymount. We do so because she was captured on CCTV. And we also know that she made some telephone calls from a telephone kiosk on Sandymount Green. We are reasonably satisfied from the investigation that Annie took the number 44 bus outside the Ulster Bank on Ranelagh Village. And we do so because of the fact that she was seen getting on the bus by a work colleague that knew her well.
But thereafter, it becomes a bit greyer.
Thereafter, we are less certain. And we cannot assume that she got as far as Enniskerry. We are satisfied she got as far as Milltown, but not as far as Enniskerry.
Or even Johnny Fox's, or however further on. But what you can do then is look back from that date that she disappeared. Talk to her friends and the people that she met over the 5 years that she was here, because she had a very rich and very varied life.
Annie was a university student, and she studied in St. Patrick's College in Maynooth in 1987. And she completed her BA degree in Maynooth College. And she had a wide circle of college friends and college classmates, and she was well known among her academic staff.
She worked in Donnybrook.
She was busy, Annie, and she was industrious, and she worked in the courtyard in Donnybrook. And
A restaurant.
A restaurant. and she worked in Upper Leeson Street in Cafe Java. And she kept herself busy, and she was she had a large circle of friends as well.
And she formed strong bonds with a lot of people who now would quite possibly have information that could be of use to you.
Annie was an engaging person, and she loved conversation and she loved company. And my appeal is to all her former work colleagues, her university classmates, friends, etc., to journey back to 1993 and to reflect on the conversations that they had with Annie. Did Annie raise any issues of concern? Did she make any reference to place, reference to a person or thing? Was she troubled by any issue? Was she concerned about any issue? If you have information, please do make contact with us. And I would also appeal to persons who hold information not to assume that the guards have the information that you hold, but send the information in to us, and your information, allied with any information that we have, may prove to be particularly significant in Annie's case.
Don't make assumptions, just like you're not making
Don't
assumptions.
assume anything.
Okay, Walter, thank you very much. Good luck with your investigation, because it is 23 years later and Nancy just wants to take her only child home. Somebody out there watching tonight may have a suspicion that has never gone away. Do you know what happened to Annie? Walter's going to stay with us to take your calls. To Groningen now.